Ahead of what I hope will be a very easy, seamless pre-order process for the Batman Returns wave. The McFarlane Toy Show returned today. We got a bunch of new reveals. I am excited about most of them. I don't know where I'm putting my McFarlane toy figures at this point, but I don't care. There's a problem for later. Let's talk about all these exciting reveals right now. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Friday should be pretty insane. There's a lot of pre-orders between Target, Hasbro Pulse, just a bunch of stuff. McFarlane Toys is entering it with a slew of Batman Returns figures. I want to get every single one of these reveals from Batman Returns. But before we got to that, the guys broke down a bunch of new reveals. I'm gonna need my guy Claudio to read up some old school DC comics because not knowing some of these characters, it's not great. But let's take a look at some of the stuff they showed us today. First off was this 0 hour version of Superman, and this looks really good. And this is based off of that DC digital Superman, that excellent figure, soft goods cape, little darker blue hues, which is fine. It's got the mullet. So if you needed this version of Superman for your JLA shelf, this one matches up the best. I mean, he's got the mullet, so you've got everything you needed. He's got this on the back. You can see that glorious hair flowing behind him there. Nice head sculpt. I don't think they changed much from this outside of the hair, which was fine because that's really all that was needed. This figure really stands out. It's a nice looking figure. If you want a darker blue as opposed to the more comic book old school skewing tongue twister, this is definitely the one you want. No issues. I know some people might go, but what about the pins? Yeah, but this figure is really good. One of my favorites McFarlane delivered, the posability, the likeness. He's just a really great figure. So now you get another shot at it if you missed out on him. Then we got this Joker. Love that Joker. And he's got the soft goods trench coat. This is based on his look from Crisis on Infinite Earths. And I think that's issue 2 when Batman and Joker start seeing the flashbacks of the Flash, Barry Allen coming through. And rereading that thing is so creepy. Watching what's going on with Barry, seeing how he's merging in through different time periods, like what is going on with my guy Flash? Now, one thing I was a little bit disappointed with this figure because the head sculpt looks truly outstanding. This looks like it's going to be one of the best ones they've delivered to us so far. And they said the hat is not removable, which is not great because this is a really, really good head sculpt. So you can take the trench coat off, which is fine. But if you can't take the hat off, you still don't have that old school. And this one's a little bit more George Perez inspired. But the trench coat does look nice. I just wish they had done that extra step in giving us that removable hat because I'm sure these are just the screen grabs. So it's not like the absolute best quality. But take a look at this head sculpt. This is really good. And I have that DC digital Joker, which is a great figure as well. But this looks great. And I just wish that they had also given us the option of being able to take off that hat because it's a really well done figure. Here's another look at it. And I love the fact that the trench coat is actually tailored so well. It doesn't look baggy outside of the sides, but it's a trench coat. So that's the way it should go without a belt, keeping it looped in place. But man, this is a really nice tailoring job. Very happy with this one. I mean, Joker's rocked the hat for a minute, so I'm not so sure I'm not going to get this one. The DC Icons had this look down too, and that was a great Joker figure. I don't feel like I have to have another one after that great DC digital one, but this is one that may make me think it over and go, yeah, I think I may have to get another one. One definite upgrade I am absolutely getting is this guy. We got Red Tornado in classic Silver Age look. You can see behind me right there, that's the Red Tornado they put out originally. Nothing wrong with it. Back when it was well, this is going to be the only version I get of this character. I'll take it. It was good enough, but this one is outstanding. Look at those colors. unlike the other one, soft goods cape. So we don't have to worry about, oh man, how is it going to fit on here? And then, I mean, with Red Tornado, the ability to move and pose his cape is going to be great with your tornado swirling effect deals. And it's just they did the flaring of the cape properly. And unlike, say, Obsidian and Mr. Bones, they actually accomplished that here. So maybe we'll see some more characters revisited. But those colors are so much brighter. We got the yellow, doesn't look gold, the red, nice cherry red. Still looks like it's got that same expression, but not as much black around those eyes. So that is also a really nice touch. And I will show you what I'm talking about in just a second about that the red tornado, and how his head sculpt on that original figure turned out. And again, I was not upset with it. I wasn't, oh, this is a terrible figure. But here you can see, I think just fine with this main image, how that looked. Hopefully, of course, he comes with this so we can do the full deal. But you can see how he's got a little bit more black shading around his eyes, kind of gives him more of a villain look. And the gold, not red, kind of drowns that out a little bit. And you can see it's a solid figure. There's nothing wrong with this one. This is not one where I'm like, this is a terrible figure. Hopefully, we'll get that tornado burst. But this is inspiration for it. It's not quite that, but it looks like we really are getting that with this new one. And this is such, I mean, this is a fine figure. I was like, cool, got Red Tornado added to the fold, but now they've done everything I wanted. We've got the boots down just so, no. Let me just pull this back up so you can see the Red Tornado pictures. But this is such a I mean, this is the kind of improvement that gets me excited. It's not, well, let's tweak a few things. This is good. They've given us the soft goods cape. They've added a much brighter shade of yellow, and the head sculpt looks great. So happy to pick this one up. Next up is Blackfire. Now we've gotten a Starfire figure. I was kind of thinking we might get an updated, more of a George Perez version Starfire. And this head sculpt is almost good enough, but man, I'm really hoping we can still get that version in here before it's done. But this is a really nice, I love the silver sheen, the metallic purple, dark purple, deep purple, perfect strangers. Got some translucent bits here, not the same ones that we always see with Marvel Legends with the Scarlet Witch energy trails. I really like this head sculpt, and her hair is styled in a way that is not going to affect her articulation whatsoever. That's a big win, because sometimes, oh, it looks great, but only from one perspective. And a really nice job on that hair sculpt. So very nicely done here. One more shot of her. I'm pretty impressed with how this turned out. Feeling like I'm probably going to get her as well. So I mean that was just 4 for 4. Got the 0 Hour Superman, the Joker, Red Tornado, Blackfire. Let me get to another one here. So we got this new Batgirl. Now they also put out a new version of Batgirl, classic skewing, earlier today. She went up for pre-order, sold out very promptly. But you can see, nice figure. Depending on your preference for attire, this purple and yellow might be more what you want. I am not so happy about the fact that, we've seen so many cool figures over these years now with the soft goods posable capes. So I guess with her smaller cape, it's not really interfering with anything, but it sure would have been fun to have it having that windswept deal on your own, not the way the sculpt is, because that just, I don't know, looks a little bit too jagged for me. But really nice Batgirl head. So if you've missed out, here's another opportunity, another chance to get her. And I think they did a nice job with how their figure turned out. Now, one I was really excited about, and it's getting even more so as we continue to see more JSA characters. This one was rumored a while back, a 2-pack of Spectre and Atom Smasher. Now, Atom Smasher looks like he is basically a re-release of that Atom Smasher that came with the Black Adam line. I was really seriously considering getting that figure, but it's like, I don't want that. The look is not classic enough. This is not a classic Atom Smasher look. Let me pull that up for you really quickly, just so you can see what it should look like. Now it's not bad, of course, but it's just not quite what I was hoping to see. So let's pull this up really fast. Nucline or Atom Smasher, even though he is Nucline. And hopefully I don't get the movie version with my first image because that's what always happens with these. So, yeah, I was thinking maybe this is what we were getting here with this picture. I am trying, of course, to find the full body shot of how he should look. And I think his boots are the main thing that's an issue. But let's see here. Yeah, I can't show you all that image because that is my guy Adam Smasher in Black Adam doing some bad stuff to Cobra, but he had it coming. So here you go. Now, this is without the mask, but just to give you a general idea. So he's got the gauntlets, looks good. I mean, I wouldn't have been upset with a removable mask or whatever. That could have been fun to see. And let me pull up one more image just to give you a real, hey, this isn't a bad job on this figure. Oh, let me see. Where'd you go? There you go. This is a Wikipedia picture, so it might be super small, but there you go. You get a good sense. Now the mask isn't normally this expressive, but you can get a sense for it here. So we got a nicely done version of Atom Smasher. And that was cool because I mean, it's like we've gotten a decent amount of the modern slash 90s JSA. We don't have a whole lot of them. We have Mr. Terrific for sure. Not really Kendra Hawkgirl, but we've got some. And here's Spectre. Spectre is interesting because he's not quite right. And I was excited to see this initially. I mean, we've got the pixie boots. That was good. Soft goods cape again. That is absolutely tremendous because one thing that drove me nuts, and I was really trying to figure out a way to justify it to myself, like, well, I've got to get this. This is the only time we're getting a McFarlane Spectre. And I was like, yeah, but the cape is not fun. It's just set up in a way that is just doesn't work. But I don't think that they necessarily fixed all of the issues. I mean, because the main thing was just the cape. We'd gotten this figure with the soft goods cape, everything would be great. You can see here with the collar, and he's got like the big flared collar. He's got the cape that drapes over his shoulders. We don't get that with with this version of the Spectre. And let me pull this up again so you can see more along the lines of what I'm talking about. So you can see some definite changes. So we've got just the black around the eyes instead of the full on silhouette around everything, just like up to the tip of his nose. That's weird. The collar piece of his his neck is missing. I love the fact that it's a soft goods cape. And I was hoping maybe, and they mentioned something about the cape being soft goods as well. That's fine. But I really wanted that full on collar piece so we could have this. So maybe if there's a way to just include this segment right here, like this collar in this section, and maybe feed it into a soft goods cape, that would have been the best of both worlds. I think the way the cape, the hood hangs a little bit better here as well. And of course, the shading around his eyes looks way better. So, not quite what I was hoping for with this, but I'm glad they revisited Spectre. I like Dr. Midnight is great, but our man who they used that Spectre body with the cape and just didn't change anything. I feel like this actually, ironically, would make for a better Our Man sculpt than what we got for Spectre. So anyway, maybe they could still do that because it's like it's right there. Anyway, so that's solid. Really happy to see them. And the game that we always play with McFarlane figures are what are they gonna retail for when they hit stores? And how long before they start hitting clearance price? But I am definitely excited about getting these two, adding Atom Smasher to my modern-esque JSA lineup, getting Spectre, getting another chance to put him onto this JSA display that I've got right here. I have more of the classic members up on that second and third row, but that shelf is getting really full. So I'm pretty excited about that. More additions to the JSA, the better. And that Dr. Mid-Nite figure, if he comes out this year, he's going to be one of my favorites. They did an excellent job with him. And just full on no complaints. And since I've talked him up enough, let me just run over real fast to my affiliate Entertainment Earth. Pop, there we go. Nice and simple and easy. Take a look at this figure. And he's pre-sold out on Entertainment Earth because I think everybody was like, oh, that's a great figure. So they got all the details right. They got the crescent moon sculpted on the mask, on his vest. He's got hoodoo right there, and you can see the variant hoodoo's colored a little bit different. Green goggles. They got the belt right. Soft goods cape. He's so good. And so much better than what we saw with Sandman, who I'm really hoping they just tweak up a little bit more to make him more of a classic style that fits in with the JSA characters. Cause that figure, I mean, we need a Sandman this quality. This is so well done. Claudio again didn't know who Dr. Mid-Nite was, and it's like, man, read some good DC stuff. I'll send you a list of recommendations because this is gotta know who Dr. Mid-Nite is, gotta know the JSA. But yeah, they just knocked this figure out, and I'm so happy with how he turned out. So pre-ordered him, definitely had to get that in. They did. I'm trying to see if the photos have the chase. So you can see this is what in the cards. I don't know who's working over there. They can't line this stuff up properly, but this is modern Dr. Midnight. So you can see the buckles are missing here, the gauntlets with those capsules on the side. He's got the belt, he's got the skirt. I guess they were trying to give us a modern Dr. Midnight, but it's not quite good enough. And there's so many details missing that it's just doesn't. It's like a repaint. It's not quite the JSA modern version with Peter. I think it's Cross's last name. But anyway, really nicely done. Then we move on to what they did for this Batman Returns wave with a Max Shrek with the taser face. Taser face. This is cool. And the Catwoman figure actually has a taser, so you could almost reenact this moment. I mean, that is a crazy head sculpt edition. Like, I mean, who thought of that? That's cool. And I was already excited to get a Max Shrek figure, and now that we've got this option for him, even more so. And here's the classic Christopher Walken head sculpt. And let me see here just to make sure I get these names right. I hate John. That's pretty simple and easy. John took the time to show us what the scale in these figures is like. So here you go. Let's try this one. There you go. So you can see Batman looks great next to Catwoman in the sculpting on her details. Man, I'm going to be upset if I don't get these figures. I'm going to be heated if I can't get them. They look great. And just like that Superman, the Christopher Reeve version, I cannot wait to add them to the collection. So fun, so well done too. And you can't knock that part because that's the rest of it. Then we got another look at this penguin figure. I think this is excellent. They just really knocked this entire wave out. There's not one I'm going, oh, this is awful. But it looks like maybe they fixed his hands because it looks like those hands look straight. I can't quite tell with this one, but I love this jacket. The texture on the vest is really well done. That sculpt's amazing. Good stuff just all around. And here's one final shot of everybody. Yeah, this thing, I am going to be glued to the computer screen to make sure I get them, all four of the regular characters, the Penguin Commandos, and of course, the Duck Truck. As my guy Jablin mentioned, that's the name for it now. So yeah, but I am so excited. The only thing that could have possibly made this better is if we got that torn mask for Batman and an unmasked Catwoman head, right when she goes to kiss him. Like, that would have been so cool. Anyway, really, really happy with this. No complaints. Loving this wave in its entirety. There are a few more reveals though. Back to the Super Friends. Aquaman gets added to the line. I like the gesture of giving us his scales on his outfit. That's fun. And I think he looks pretty solid. Great, happy Aquaman head sculpt. He's got the JLA communicator. Look, good deal. I mean, there's just no complaints with this. And this wave kind of made me go, was I too hasty in saying, I don't need the Super Friends figures? Because I feel like if they're going to keep going with these waves, I may need to get more of them or get them in their entirety. Here's Bizarro. He looks good. Ken, starting to have that non-buyer's remorse. This one kind of made me feel like maybe I did the right thing, not getting them. Here's Bizarro Batman. There's still more necessary characters before we start dipping into repaint land. Let's hold off. Let's do those guys later. We still have important characters of the Super Friends, the Legion of Doom to knock out. Then we've got Brainiac. Brainiac looks cool. And I'm really hoping we see this outfit in the 7-inch scale along with the Super Friends version of Lex Luthor. Only then will I feel like I've gotten the real essential characters for my Legion of Doom. But I need both of them. And this Brainiac looks so great. His outfit is so simple and basic. But that's sometimes that simplicity is all you need. And they really knocked it out. Now let's go to the ones that I'm really shocked that they hit and kind of like, all right, cool, you got me. I may have to go all in. It's Jan and Gleek, and we got the Wonder Twins coming. How fun is that? I think this Gleek could actually scale in properly with your DC classics if you didn't get the bundle to get him. So here's another way to sell this set, and I just love the fact that we have Jan and Gleek, and oh yes, we have Zan as well. I'm not sure why he comes with a wrench because I mean, I think if he came with a bucket, that would have made more sense, but whatever. No complaining on that end. The final reveal was their next crowdfund project. That is going to be Harley Quinn from the Suicide, or not the, from Suicide Squad. And you see all the stuff she comes with. This is the 4th level, so there's a ton of things along the way. This is your base figure. And let me see if I have this done properly to show you all of the breakdown of how all this stuff plays out. Let's see. This is the initial offering. So this is the base. You can see she comes with a pretty solid amount of stuff. She's got fabric stockings. Gee, I wonder if there's any heroes who may be starting a movie with Harley Quinn that could use fabric stockings. So we got the base, temporary tattoos, the movie poster, that's solid. The art card, she's got a revolver because she's not a toy. And she's got the bat, good deal there. Here is the 2nd level. So you can see she's got the extra arms and jackets. So swappable arms. That's cool. Not just faceplates anymore. I mean, Todd is just doing all kinds of stuff here on the back end of this license. She's got a tons of stuff. She's got a mallet. She's got a pistol, more hands. That's solid stuff. And then 4 different faceplates. And for a character like Harley Quinn, you can't really ever have too many. So that's really cool to see. Here's the 3rd option. And this is level 3. It comes with a tuxedo Joker. So for those of y'all who really love Jared Leto's Joker, there you go. Get him now. And this is the final offering, the level 4 different color version of Harley Quinn. And it's not as exciting, but that's a lot. And I'm curious to see what the price point of this is to go, oh, this is a great deal, or oh, this is a terrible deal. But I think that's pretty solid. And I like to see them do more Suicide Squad figures if we're going to get this version of Harley Quinn. Maybe Rick Flag Jr. would be a good choice, along with our Peacemaker that we already have. But yeah, solid stuff. So the guys broke down a bunch of this stuff. The Superman, Joker, the Red Tornado, and Blackfire pre-orders for those are September 30th. So they're revealed, and then pre-orders come out like a few more weeks later. Then I'm sorry, just Superman and Joker. They're September 30th. Red Tornado, Blackfire, and Batgirl, they will be coming out a little bit later. I think they were saying October, early October. Adam Smasher and Spectre, also October. Super Friends later on in October. So, I mean, we're near the end of September. So all this stuff will be up for pre-order at some point next month, except for the Superman and Joker. Now, they did mention they're going to have a panel, which I am sure is going to have a ton of new reveals of new figures. So I can't wait. I feel like we're nearing the end of what we knew were coming from the leak list. That Spectre and Adam Smasher is part of that. So hopefully there's a bunch of stuff we've been clamoring for. Silver Age or Bronze Age, Green Arrow and Black Canary, Zatanna. I think Elongated Man was mentioned. So I'm going to need to add him to the list. Maybe a few more JSA characters because we're getting so close to completing that team too. So there you go. I'm excited about these reveals and these upcoming pre-orders. Hopefully everything goes smoothly tomorrow and I can get all those Batman Returns figures. But what do you think? Are you excited about these reveals? Or you're like, not interested? I'm waiting till Mattel gets the license. Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.